you're new here, welcome to the channel. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. If you've already subscribed, and welcome back. As always, I really do appreciate the support from everybody. So I do hope you enjoy it. So today we have an entitled baby mama who is making a big deal or causing a scene over a haircut.
The car, because I need answers. As custodial parent, I'm supposed to know exactly what's what.
Kim, can I leave now?
Can you please tell me where you cut my children's hair?
I
You
cut.
had
I
no
gave.
authority.
I gave my kids a haircut.
You had no.
You hear this? All right. She said, Where did you cut their hair?" He said, "I cut their hair." She said, "You had no authority." Well, he's the dad. How does he not have the authority to do that? I mean, if he's the biological father, and it's bad is that she's causing this scene. Like I said, that she's causing the scene over a haircut, and so she's standing behind this man's car with the kids, refusing to let him leave until she finds out what happened, until she gets her answers. And he just answered her. He said, "I cut their hair." Okay, there you go. There's your answer.
Authority.
Do you have my kids behind her?
Did you consult with me?
Kim, let me peel off.
Did you consult with me?
Can I leave now?
Let's be a man for once.
Can I
Did you
leave?
consult with me?
Wow. See, will you be a man for once? Like that's really a bad thing to be saying in front of these kids, man. I mean, for one, they shouldn't be caught in the middle of this situation anyway. But to say something like that in front of his kids, be a man for once, and obviously he's dropping them off. So, he's being a man. He's taking care of his responsibilities. But to say that because he cut their hair or without her permission, and even though he answered the question, she's still saying, "Did you consult with me? Did you consult with me? Be a man for once." Okay, I've already answered your question. What else do you need to know? You're asking the same question. I've already answered it. So, okay, the conversation's over now. You got your answer. Bye. Have a nice day.
Ma, can you get the police because... Yeah, he's taking my photo because he won't tell me exactly what happened. He has no right to do that. I asked you a simple question.
Look, now she's going to get the police involved. And she said, "He's taking my picture because he won't tell me exactly what happened, and he has no right to do that." And again, he's already told you what he did. He has already answered your question. He told you exactly what happened. He said, "I cut their hair. I gave them a haircut." Okay. So I answered your question. And so why do the cops need to get involved? Get the police because he cut their hair without my permission. Really?
So your mom gonna get the police?
I don't know. I'm asking you a question. Where did you do this? Earl, they don't
Kim, you are really making the kids nervous.
Earl, I know my own children ever since. Okay?
Ever since what?
I know my children.
Ever since what?
I love that part. And it's funny, because a lot of mothers use that. "I know my kids," and it's funny the way she worded it. "I know my kids ever since," and I love the way he responded. Ever since what? Because I would have been saying the same thing. Ever since what? Like, but a lot of mothers use that, "I know my kids, I know my kids." Well, he's a dad, and as a dad, I know my kid as well. I don't have to be a mother to know my kid, okay? I know him too. So, I'm able to notice whether or not he's nervous or if he's comfortable. I know if he's happy or if he's sad. I know these things. I don't have to be a mom to know this.
You abandoned them.
I abandoned
know
them?
okay?
Oh, I thought I left you.
Wow, again. Like just a minute ago, she said, "Be a man for once." Now she's saying you abandoned him. And she's saying this with them in her hands. One on one side, one on the other. She is telling this man in front of these kids that you abandoned him, even though he's clearly dropping them off. So obviously he didn't abandon them. He just left you. And this is the way a lot of women like to play this narrative, is, "Well, you left us." No, I left you. I didn't leave them. I'm still here for them. I just left you.
No, I'm recording it too, just to make sure that we're even, Steven, okay?
Yeah, I don't care
that's
about
no
that.
problem.
Oh, don't scratch the car.
Oh, no, scratch the car. Go ahead. Do whatever you want to do.
Come on, let me hold the
You
train.
see how messed up that is? Oh, no, scratch the car. Do whatever you want to do. Because she knows it bothers him. And she's upset that she didn't, or he didn't get her permission to cut their hair. So now she's mad and bitter because apparently he's supposed to get her permission for everything. And just like my car seat video, it's the same thing. It's like I didn't get her permission to change him from formula to milk, but I'm his dad. I'm able to make that call. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't get her permission to change him into that car seat. I'm his dad. I can make that call. I don't need your permission for that. The important things as far as school and medical care and things like that, Dad has to have permission. But, you know, like I said, for those little things, I don't need your permission for that. I'm his dad. I'm able to make that decision on my own. And it's one that I don't regret because he's been fine ever since. He's still in the same car seat here over a year later, almost a year and a half later. And he hasn't been on formula since, and he's been doing great. So I don't regret a single decision, you know. But like I said, it comes down to that. It's like they just have this entitlement that because they're the mother and the court gave you permission to be involved in their life, now they think they still have control over you. That you still need their permission. I don't need your permission. I am their dad, okay? I need your permission for certain things. If I want to go on vacation out of state, I need your permission for that. But I don't need your permission for the little things.
No, that's their train.
I got the train until.
Okay, hold on. No, you hold on to that train. Don't let him take that away from you. Nope.
Don't let him put the train on the car, please,
Then you
Kim.
need to tell me exactly what happened.
And she's still going on with this, but don't let him put the train on the car because he doesn't want to scratch his car up. And she said, well, then you need to tell me what happened, and I won't let them scratch your car up. You shouldn't let them do that anyway. You should have enough respect for him not to let him do that. And two, as I've already stated, he has already answered your question. And yet you keep asking the same question over and over. How many more times is he going to have to answer before you accept the answer that you get?
Oh, see, you got the boys crying.
Well, you took his train.
Don't scratch the car.
I didn't take it.
Don't scratch
Answer
the car.
the question.
Get daddy a kiss. Get daddy a
Answer
kiss.
the question.
Look. Can I pick him up, Kim?
Put him down.
Can I pick the
You're
kid
over
up?
the time.
Let me
You're
pick the
over
kid.
the time.
Wow. You tell me women don't use kids as a tool to get back at the man. He said, can I pick him up? She said, put him down. You're over your time. Dude. Like, I'm still his dad. Like, I'm not his dad during this time and this time. I'm his dad all of the time. So if I see y'all at a store and I want to give my kid a hug, I can do that. I'm his dad all the time. Every day of the week. Every day of the year. I'm his dad. It's never going to change. And to say, well, you're over your time, okay, but that doesn't mean I can't give my kid a hug. If you're going to stand here and cause this scene, the least I can do is spend a little bit more time with my kid before they leave. Why not? You know what I mean? Get every minute you can. That's the way I'd be thinking. Well, if I'm going to be standing here, at least let me hold the kid so I can get some more time in.
Fine.
So I can't pick the kids up?
Let go. Would you tell me what you did?
So I can't pick the kids
Can you
up?
tell me what you did?
They got a haircut, Kim.
Where? Where, Earl? You put a shaver to their head. How dare you do that?
You finished? And your mom was going to get the police, huh? Kim, would you
No,
please have them
would
get the
you
train off the
please
car?
Answer the question.
I'm going to take the train from them. Okay,
Take them and then they'll be bawling and it's all you. That's it.
they can't have the train on the car.
Well, then
Now,
you need to answer the
then
question.
why don't you back up from the car
You
then?
need to answer the question.
Back up from the car.
They're going to remember you as an image of taking this away.
Then
I
back up
asked
from
you
the
as
car,
a-
Kim.
Wow, you see their faces too, man. And she said they're going to remember you as the image of taking this away. No, they're going to remember you as the image of holding them behind their dad's car because he cut their hair without your permission. That's what they're going to remember. They're going to remember him taking the train away, but they're going to know it's because they were scratching up the car. But they're also going to remember that you held them behind that car and would not leave because the dad gave them a haircut. And you're being bitter about it. That's what they're going to remember. The scene that you're causing right now, that's what they're going to remember.
Then answer my question, please.
Back up from the car.
Answer my question.
And again, how many more times is he gonna have to answer? He's already answered it at least twice that I noticed. So I mean, how many more times is he gonna have to answer? He's already answered the question. Yet she keeps saying, "Answer the question. Answer the question." I already have twice. How many more times do you need to hear the answer? This is what happened. This is what I did. Okay. Have a nice day.
Kim, you shouldn't be doing this in front of kids.
Would you please tell me? You're doing it, Earl. Who gave you the right to do that?
Wow, you hear that? And I've even said that in my video, and he said, please don't do this in front of the kids. And he said, I mean, he's really trying not to do this. And he's like, I see why he's recording. I do. And I even stated in one of my other videos, at least one of them, that if you're a man going through situations like this, record for things like this, is because they cause a scene, and then they're going to flip it around later to make it seem like you were the one in the wrong. And so he's like, man, please, like, let's not do this in front of the kids. And she's like, you're doing it. No, you're doing it, lady. And it's shame on you for trying to put that on him, even though you're the one causing the scene. You should be ashamed of yourself for that. And I don't mean to go out there and bash this lady in particular, but there's so many baby mamas out there that act like this over something so simple. And they're so controlling, and as you've seen, she uses the kids as a tool to kind of get him worked up. And he's trying to be civil, like, please let's not do this in front of the kids. And she's like, oh no, you're doing it. No, I'm not. You're doing it. I've already told you what happened. You should already be on your way. And it shouldn't even be that big of a deal, because he cut their hair. Now you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to pay for somebody else to do it. He already took care of that. You should be like, thank you. I appreciate that. Because he wants his kids to be like clean cut and looking good and everything. So I mean, you should be grateful for that. That he cares enough about his kids to want, to care about how they look.
Who gave you the right?
Oh, I wish you let me leave, Kim.
Who gave you the right? You were over an hour and a half late. Yeah, get your turn, sweetie. Who gave you the right to shave their head?
What? Don't I pay child support? And don't they my kids too?
Child support has nothing to do. You are non-custodial with visitation. You have no rights. What?
You see how they love to throw that in your face too. You are non-custodial with visitation, which means the court gave her that. And this is why I have such a big problem with the court system, is because they give these women this power. Either they know that they're giving them this power and they don't care, or they just simply don't care. Period. Like, they're like, I don't care. We're not going to take a child away from the mother, so she's going to get it. We don't care what the man has to deal with. You know what I'm saying? It's all about catering to the woman. So she's got, and she said, you're non-custodial parent, which sounds to me like he's probably got every weekend or every other weekend. But non-custodial parent doesn't mean he doesn't have the legal rights to it. You see what I'm saying? Like, because you can have physical custody and then legal custody. That's two separate things. If you got joint legal custody, that means you still have to have his permission as well. And he can still have joint legal custody without having primary or full physical custody. You see what I'm saying? Just like she can have full physical custody and yet still have legal or shared legal custody, which means she still needs his permission as well. So if that's the case, if he has 50-50 say-so, he clearly doesn't need your opinion, or he doesn't need your permission for that. And the problem I have here is that so many women just like this use the kid as a way to control the man after the relationship has ended. So like I said, they're using them as a tool. Like, this scene is really unnecessary because it's just a haircut. He cut their hair. That's all he did. She said, how dare you? And she's already said, be a man. And she's already said that he abandoned him. And she's saying all of this and doing all of this in front of the kids. And as I stated in one of my other videos, be aware of how your actions are affecting the kids. And we've already seen their faces. We already seen how it's affecting him, and yet you're continuing on with this unnecessary scene over a haircut because he didn't ask for your permission. Get over yourself, lady.
Whatsoever to do anything like this without consulting with me first.
Oh, here come your mama. I know it's about to get worse.
That's funny. He said, here comes your mama. It's about to get worse.
Kim, you see, you can't let him scratch up
I'm
the car.
sorry. I need to know what you did.
I'm gonna give it back. Daddy gonna give it back.
She's still saying it. I'm sorry. I need to know what you did. But he's already told you what he did. You keep saying the same thing over and over and over, and I've had to deal with. I deal with that a lot as well. Like, I have to answer the same questions over and over and over. It's like, how many more times do I have to answer it? Like, why are you still asking the same question when I've already answered your question? And you're still causing this scene, even though I've already answered your question, while you're still asking the same question. Like, it doesn't make sense, lady. Just go on about your business, have a nice day, instead of making a scene in front of these kids and messing up their day.
You can't scratch up the car, okay?
Go
Okay?
ahead.
Come on. Give Daddy a kiss. Give Daddy a kiss.
Give the car back.
Let me give him a kiss, Kim. Let him go.
Okay, give it the car. Give it.
Okay.
Give him the train.
Come get Daddy a kiss.
Get the train. Here, go over here. Take him. Give me the train.
Look, now she's alright. Now you can take him. When he's trying to love on him, she's like, oh, no. I'm not going to let you do that. Now you can take the kids. Now I'm going to remove her from behind your car where I've been holding them for the last at least 3 minutes of this video. I don't know how long they were actually there or how long she was standing behind his car, but this is 3 minutes into it, and now, like, you know, now that he's loving on the kids, oh, she doesn't want that. No. Okay, now you can take the kids.
You leaving now?
Where's your coat? I don't know. Where's my coats? Where's my stuff?
It's in that bag that you gave me. Oh, you did give me coat, huh?
Yes, I did give you coats,
Oh,
girl, and I
back-
gave you hats, and I gave you food.
Okay, back up so I can open the trunk.
Go right ahead.
Kim,
Come
would
on,
you?
baby. I'm sorry, what'd you say? What? It works. Does the battery doesn't work? Well, you gotta turn it on.
Get the coats, Earl.
When she back up?
Family,
They're
back
waiting
up.
for
What
us.
do you mean? Get the coats.
When she back up.
You can go get the coats.
I don't want you
Earl.
behind me, Kim, because
I really don't care about you, Earl.
you know what? The coats are in the suitcase.
No, let it videotape.
Stop the
No,
phone.
really, because it's
The coats
videotaping.
are in the
Earl,
suitcase.
Stop the phone
It's
mess.
already videotaped. It's okay.
If my picture...
And I...
Alright, just point out, you heard this kid right here. You can hear him hollering, no. And they're just going on and on and on, man. Like this dude was not lying when he said, oh, it's about to get worse. He was not lying, man. It just got worse quick. Because now they're double teaming him. And I'm with the dude. Like, you know, he's saying, you know, back up. I get the coach, but back up. Like, because we're supposed to be protected by the same law as everybody. You know, and, you know, so if a woman doesn't feel safe with you standing directly behind her when she opens her trunk and she says step back, you're supposed to respect that, you know, out of her, you know, her rights, you know. And so the man is supposed to be covered by the same rights and the same protection. And these days, and I've had it happen to me, which is why I understand where he's coming from, is like these days a woman, like I've had a woman, I went in the trunk to get her stuff and she started hitting me as I was getting in the trunk. And then she had a friend call the cops and say that I was hitting her. And then when the cops showed up, they were trying to push that. The only thing is that I was the only one that had any marks because she actually gashed my ear. And so that's what helped me in that case. But that's why I'm not comfortable with somebody standing directly behind me when I'm getting in my trunk. It's like, okay, I will get whatever you want me to get, but back up because I don't know what you're going to do. And then, like I said, in my case, the woman tried to flip it around and say I was the one hitting her. And that happens a lot. So many women like to play victim in order to get the man arrested on false allegations. You know? And So men just, it's a lot of risk involved in having a woman just stand behind you over something as simple as going in your trunk, because it could always turn into something very, very negative for you.
It's on the internet,
Don't worry about it.
and you think
you
it's
can sue
funny.
him. You can do a
You
civil
see,
suit.
that's why
Yeah.
you're such a coward, Earl.
Say that again, Miss Woods.
These are the
See what I'm saying? Like this, the other lady was already bashing this man in front of these kids, talking about be a man for once, and you abandon him, and now she's calling them a coward. And all of this is happening in front of his kids. They're hearing you say this to their dad. Like, how messed up is that, dude? Like I said, pay attention to how your actions are affecting the kids. And this kid's clearly not happy with this situation. And you're saying some messed up things about his dad in front of them.
3-year-olds, not you.
Okay.
Grow up.
Okay.
That's enough. That's okay.
When
Can
you
I
hold
have, wait,
me
can
on
I
the
have
phone
my children's coats,
to
please?
introduce yourself, you
I know,
were
I gotta get
saying
my
that you
coats.
were respectable.
I am. Oh, Kim, did you ever find my mom's obituary?
Can you? You never gave it to me. But can I have my coats, please?
Get the coats,
You're
please.
trying to change the subject.
I
Such
know.
a coward.
Just get the coats.
Oh, they must have been in that suitcase.
What do you want?
You hear the kids crying too. Just wanna point that out. You hear the kids crying. This is clearly not a good moment for them, obviously, and I don't see why it would be. And this lady just called him a coward again. Oh, he's just trying to change the subject. You're such a coward. Like, all of this is happening in front of the kids, all over a haircut. Because he gave them a haircut without your permission. Like, really? And you turned it into this. And you hear the kids crying and screaming and hollering because they're not happy with what you're doing right now. And yet you keep going on. You keep bringing up other things to bash him for.
Yeah, go wait in the car.
Right there.
He's trying to do something for the court date.
No, these are my coats. Oh, that's so typical. It's nothing new.
Oh, there you
Don't
go.
say another word to him. He's not even worth it.
I know.
But don't you ever touch my children like that again without consulting me. I am custodial.
She said, "Don't you ever touch my children like that again without consulting me." They are his kids too, lady. Jesus Christ. They are his kids too. Don't you ever touch my kids. No, our kids, okay? You did not make them kids on your own. Those kids share yours and his DNA. Okay, you did not make, yeah, you carried them, but you did not make them. He made them kids. The DNA, if you get a DNA test done, you actually look up the chart, or look at the chart, you'll see it's usually a pretty half and half. It may be a little more on one side or the other, but it's usually like right there, half and half. Close enough. And so it's not like he's got all of your DNA. Like, you didn't make him on your own. And so many women seem to leave that out of the equation, or just seem to forget that altogether. Or, these are my kids. These are my kids. Don't touch my kids like that. No, they are our kids, okay? And I can touch them like that if I want to, because I'm not hurting them. All he did was give them a haircut. And you did this. And now you're being demanding. Don't you ever touch my kids like that again. Lady, chill out, man. Get over yourself. It's not all about you. It's not your call, okay? He has that decision too. I mean, you're just going to have to deal with that. Find a way to deal with it.
No.
I'm gonna give him a haircut next
In the
time.
judgment of the divorce, you do not touch
Oh, is
their
that a
hair.
threat?
Is that
I'm just telling you, if they need a haircut, I'll give it to
Are
them.
you threatening my children?
If they need a haircut, I'll give it to them.
They
told
just
you to
had a
cut the
haircut. Do you
haircut?
want
Wow. She said, "Are you threatening my children?" He said, if they need a haircut, I'm going to give them a haircut. She said, "Are you threatening my children?" Like, you see how quick they are to try to just kind of stick anything into a very bad narrative. Like, that's an innocent statement, saying if they need a haircut, I'm going to give them a haircut. That is not a threat. A threat is like threatening to do something against their life or their health or their well-being that's going to actually cause physical harm to them. That's a threat. Okay? Saying I'm going to cut their hair, that is not a threat. That's just, I'm going to cut their hair. That's a simple statement. And yet she's trying to flip it into a crime. Oh, he threatened my kids. No, I didn't. I just said I'm going to give them a haircut. That's all. And it's messed up. Like, this has got to stop, man. Like, even the mothers, I mean, this is where, like, really where the maternal instincts should really kind of kick in. Is, I mean, if your maternal instincts is to look out for the child's best interest, you tell me at what point these mothers are looking out, or for these women are looking out for the child's best interest when they're bashing this man and bashing this man and bashing this man and causing this big old scene and saying, oh, are you threatening my kids? They're doing all of this in front of their dad, in front of them, and they're hearing all of it. They're seeing all of it over a haircut without her permission. That's what all of this got started from. That's what started all of this. And it turned into this mess that she created. And she's still trying to put it on him. And I don't know how many different things, like what we were here. He needs to be a man. He abandoned them. Abandoned us. She says ever since you abandoned them, meaning her and the kids, even though he said I left you, I didn't leave them. And it's obvious because he's dropping them off. But then the grandmother come in and saying, you're a coward, you're childish, you know, and just, I mean, just still berating this man in front of these kids, even though they're screaming and hollering, like, and not one of these ladies stopped, and that's why I talk about the maternal instincts, because not one of these ladies has saying, or are looking at the kids saying, look at what it's doing to them. He, the man, the dad, is the only one that said, let's not do this in front of the kids. You're making the kids nervous. He is the only one that has pointed this out of all three of these adults. The two women have not pointed that out. The man is the one that pointed that out, yet they're still disregarding that.
Me to send you the bill?
You do not cut
And you think
them.
it's funny?
Yeah, send me the bill.
You think
Earl,
it's funny?
Earl, you should have been more conscious about them being sick with the fever instead of trying to give them a haircut.
Okay, does she seem like she's more conscious about them with a fever? I mean, it doesn't seem to be a cold day. It looks like a cloudy day. But I mean, and this video was in 2014, so this was pre C19. But still, a fever is something that you would want to, you know, try to prevent at all costs and try to handle as soon as possible. So if she was concerned with the fever, like, why would she be causing this scene out here when it's nighttime, or starting to get nighttime because the street light right here is on. So she doesn't seem too worried about a fever. And the odd thing about that is she said you should have been more concerned with the fever, or them having a fever, than giving them a haircut. And as a dad who has dealt with frequent fevers, because when my kid was younger, meaning like not this winter but last winter, he dealt with a lot of fevers. He seemed to be getting like cold symptoms a lot. And so I dealt with a lot of fevers, but I know that myself, I can get a fever knocked down in a day or two. Usually within 24 hours. Every now and then it takes up to the 48-hour mark, or in between the 24 and 48-hour mark. But so I can knock out a fever, but anywhere between a day to 2 days. And so I can still knock down the fever and give him a haircut at the same time. So she's trying to make it sound like he didn't even deal with that. You know what I mean? And that's the way a lot of them do. Like and you notice how she just keeps going down the list. You know, like, instead of just leaving the situation, because he's already answered the question that you asked, and he answered it a couple times. But yet, instead of leaving the situation, you're going to make it worse by continuing to add on to the situation by bringing up more stuff. And that's what a lot of narcissists do. And I don't really know this woman well enough to say that she's a narcissist, but that's what narcissists do. Is they will keep an argument going at all costs because they just feed on that drama. They've got nothing else going on in their life, and that drama gives them the attention that they crave so much. So if they're not getting that attention from other sources, and they find themselves in a position to cause drama, they're going to do that just so they can get that attention. And in order to do that, especially when it comes to an argument, they're going to keep that going because they like knowing that they got a rise out of you. They like knowing that they controlled your emotions. And that's what it seems to me is like she's trying to get this guy worked up. Because like she's already asked him the same question over and over and over. And if she let these kids put the train on the car, even though he asked her not to let them do that, you know, but yeah, she's like, oh no, you do whatever you want to do. Scratch up his car if that's what you want to do. And she knew that was going to get a rise out of him, which is why she decided to do that. You know what I'm saying? And then yet she just keeps adding on and adding on and adding on. That's a very narcissistic thing to do. And narcissists, narcissistic parents in general are bad for kids, you know. So if that's what she is, I feel really bad for those kids because they've got a long, hard road ahead of them.
Oh,
Kim.
he's videotaping that.
I know, so am I. I'm doing the same thing, Mom. I just want to make
I'm
sure
gonna
it's
crack him
consistent.
on his head.
Look, she said, I'm going to crack him on his head. And you hear the kid behind her. Watch this.
Miss Woods, back up.
It's a waste of space.
Hold on.
Back up.
Behavior.
Look, you seen it right there. The kid walked behind her. She said, I'm going to crack you in your head. She walked around the car and you heard that kid. Like, so he was crying all the way around there. Like, you just told this man you're going to crack him in his head in front of his kids, lady. You're doing this in front of his kids. They are watching you try to attack their dad. And as a father who has a kid who is a daddy's boy, I know that would be devastating to him to have to watch somebody do that or try to do that. Because believe me when I tell you, that's not going to be that easy. Especially if you're a dude. If you're a dude trying to come at me like that, he's not going to have to worry about too much. Because, I mean, I'm going to deal with you pretty quick. But, I mean, he shouldn't have to see that anyway. He shouldn't have to see anybody coming at his dad like that. Because, like I said, as a single father who has a daddy's boy, like, you can imagine how he would feel if he saw somebody coming after his favorite person in the world. And that's not to put myself over the mother or anything like that. That's just saying, like, I know the bond that we have, me and him. I don't know the bond that they have, but I know the bond that we have, and I know how close he is with me, and I know he wouldn't appreciate it very much. I know that he would be very upset if somebody come at me like that. Even if I was able to handle it, it's not the point. The point is, you're coming at his dad like that, and he sees this. And you don't care about how it's affecting the kid. Shame on you. You want to talk about, you tell this man to grow up. You need to grow up and start thinking about these kids more.
Yourself.
Back up, Miss Woods.
Behave yourself.
It's a waste of space.
Behave yourself.
Get out the car. Y'all scared.
Look, she's saying behave yourself. You approached me talking about you're going to knock me up beside my head. You're the one that come at me like that. Y'all are the one causing the scene and you're talking about behave yourself. And now they're in this man's car with the kids right there with him as a shield because they know he's not going to do anything to hurt the kids. So they're going to use the kids, they're going to get the kids involved as a shield to stop him from being like, hey, y'all need to back up.
You okay, sweetie?
What is your name, honey?
Look close.
What's your name?
Huh?
Hold on, Miss Woods.
Ronnie?
What's your mommy's name?
Wow. Like I said, the entitlement of these women. The entitlement of some of these baby mamas. What's your mommy? What is your name? What is your mommy's name? All right, let's clear a few things. There's a few problems here. All right, number one, this is this man's car. That's his personal property. You got no business in his car or peeking in his property or whatever. You have no business questioning anybody that is in his car. His company or whoever he's riding with or riding with him, whoever's in his car, that's his business. That's none of your business. And number 3, she is clearly, it sounds like she is trying to get information out of a kid as to who his mama is. Like you have any bit, like that's any of your business, lady. Like you, and this is where so many baby mamas get really, really bitter, is when the dad moves on or the father of the kids move on with someone else. They get really, really bitter, and that's when they really start using the kids to hurt the man. It's because, oh, no. Now you're going to move on with this other woman. Now I'm going to make you pay. Now I'm going to take your kids for good. Now I'm going to do everything I can to stop you from seeing your kids. Like, you're trying to hurt him by hurting your kids, and you don't care about how it's affecting the kids. But, I mean, the thing about it is, like this, like I said, it clearly, or what it sounds like to me, is that there's a kid in the back of the car is who they're talking to. And even a cop does not have the right to question the kid without the parent present, without one biological parent present. And so obviously the biological mother to the kids that they're talking to is not in the car. Otherwise, the woman wouldn't have to ask who the mother is, because she would be in the passenger seat. But so if a cop is not able to ask a kid questions without a parent's permission, what makes you think you can? And again, it goes back to the entitlement that a lot of these baby mamas seem to think they have, is that they seem to think they can control everything that the father does, and they seem to think they have privilege to all of the personal information that happens from here on out in this man's personal life. Like, what's your mommy's name? That's none of your business. Who are you? That's none of your business. Who is in his car? That's none of your business. The only business you have with this man is those 2 kids that you are causing this scene in front of. Those are the only 2 people that you have business with, as it refers to him. Whoever else is in his car is none of your business. And yet both of these women, the mother and the grandmother, is trying to invade on this man's privacy. And again, like I stated earlier in this video, we're supposed to be protected by the same laws. So if, let's say the person holding the camera was a woman, and there were 2 men approaching her car like this with a baby in the back, how do you think people would view that? They would view that as aggressive, and they need to intervene, right? But yet when it's 2 women invading on a man's car with a child in the back, nobody says a word about that. That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly okay. That's acceptable. That's double standards is what that is.
What's your name?
What's your mommy's name?
What's your mommy's name?
Let the car go. Y'all
Are you touching me?
get away from the car.
Are you hitting me?
Get away from the car.
Are you hitting?
Oh my goodness! Like I said a minute ago, like I don't really know this lady well enough to say she's a narcissist, but again, I mean, all of the narcissistic signs are there, man. I mean, she's already like devalued this man. She's already degraded him and blame shifted. Like she keeps don't take any accountability for anything she did or anything that she's doing. Like when she said, "Oh, they're gonna remember you as the one who took their chains away," and I said, "No, they're gonna remember you as the one who held them behind their dad's car over a haircut." So she refuses to see that, and that's what a lot of narcissists do, is they refuse to see the problems that they're causing. Instead, they try to project what they think and how they feel onto other people. So, and they're full of negative feelings and emotions anyway. So they're constantly pushing all that negative feelings and emotions onto other people. And they love creating scenes like this. And then like you seen right here, this man from what I've seen, he's just trying to get him out of the car. Like, look, would you please back up? Get out of the car. Get out of the car. And as I just stated just a second ago, they got no business in this car anyway. And if somebody is trying to invade your privacy or your personal property, then you're going to want to get them out. Like if somebody tries to come in your house, you're going to want to stop them, right? Same thing with somebody trying to come in your car, you're going to want to stop them. And so he clearly sees that, they're harassing this kid who's in the back of his car. Who's your mommy? Who are you? Who are you? Who's your mommy? What's your mommy's name? And they don't have any business doing that. So to protect that child and his property, he's like, look, back up. And then she's going, oh my God, did you touch me? You assaulted me. Oh my God, help, help. Like that, dude. This is what I'm talking about when so many women play this victim card out of nowhere trying to get the man arrested on some BS because you were doing something you shouldn't have been doing in the first place. Because this, like I said, go back to the beginning of the video. This whole thing started because he gave them a haircut without her permission, and it turned into this. Now, who do y'all think is in the right here? Do y'all think the woman is in the right, or do you think the man is? Do you think she's right for doing what she's doing, for turning this situation into a much bigger situation? Do y'all think that is right? And do y'all think that is beneficial to the kids that are involved?
Get away from the car.
Did you just hurt me?
Get away from the car.
Did you just hurt me?
Get away from the car.
Did you just put your hands on me? Are you hitting me?
Get away from the car.
Taking pictures. Put your hands on me on purpose.
Get
Did
away
you
from the
put your
car.
hands on me?
Let's go.
You put your hands on me, I'm going to have a physical... Go ahead.
Go
Let me
ahead.
go ahead. Let's go. I'm going to put a complaint against you.
I'm about to walk back in the police station myself.
Let's go ahead.
Look, she looked right at them kids and she said, I'm going to put a complaint against him. So basically, she is telling her son, I am going to put a complaint against your dad. That's what I'm about to do. That's what she just told her son. I'm going to put a complaint against your dad to get him arrested. That is what we are going to do. Imagine being the son hearing that. Saying, well, wait a minute, I don't want my dad getting arrested. Because he didn't do anything. We were trying to leave a long time ago, and you caused this scene. And now you're going to get him arrested. Come on, we don't want him to get arrested. We want to be able to see him on our next scheduled visitation. You're trying to mess that up. We don't want that. But she said, I'm going to go in there, and I'm going to put out charges on your dad. I don't care how you feel about it. That's what we're going to do.
You put your hands on me. Leaving a child in the car. It's so typical. Come on.
And y'all caught that, right? Y'all caught that kid squat down right there. And I've seen that because my kid will do that sometimes too. If he doesn't want to stand up, usually means he wants to be held or he doesn't want to go. One of the two. But it seemed to me like the kids seemed to know that he was getting ready to go into the police station, and he didn't want to go, so he jumped down. That's what it looked like to me. And yeah, this woman picked him up anyway. She's like, no, we're going. I don't care if you don't want to go. We're going. We're going to take out charges on your daddy, even though he didn't do anything wrong. Even though we're the ones that caused this scene, we're going to go take out charges on your daddy. Because that's what we feel like doing, and we know the legal system and the court system is going to side with us. That's why we're doing it.
Kid was in the car seat. My kid or her kid?
They have 3 car seats.
In the front seat?
No, I just put that in the front
In
seat.
the front seat?
Go get a life, Miss Woods.
In the front seat, Earl?
Go get a life.
And she called that kid my kid. She said, was my kid in that car seat or was the other kid? That's not your kid, lady. That's his kid and the other lady's kid. That's not your kid. You're the grandmother. So chill out and, bring that ego down a couple notches. Alright? Because she said, was that my kid? That's not your kid, lady. Chill out.
Go get a license.
Yeah, go get a life.
Go get. Oh, I have a life. You're the one that don't have a life.
You know when I was living
Why
with
don't
Kim.
you grow up?
You know your dad.
Why don't
You know your husband had a woman out there in North Carolina, huh?
You heard, look. Go back to that real quick. All right, so y'all saw the kid in her arms, and she's saying this stuff. Well, you know, you're the one that needs to get a life. You're such a, you're so childish. You're so immature. It's like, this kid is in your arms, lady. You're saying this shit about his dad. And you're telling him he needs to grow up. You need to grow up because you're setting a bad example for these kids. And the longer you try to play with this, the longer you do this, the more they're going to resent you. They're not going to resent him. They're going to resent you for the way you're talking about him. Because they're going to be like, well, look, that's my dad. I love my dad. And I'm tired of you talking crap about him. That's what they're going to say. And that's what so many women don't seem to understand. Y'all talk all this crap about the daddies, talking about they walked out on us and they left us and they abandoned us. No, he didn't. He left you. He didn't leave the kids. And so when you're trying to do this, you're trying to bash him in front of the kids. All that's going to do is make them resent you more. That's not going to make them resent him more. And it's messed up that you would even try to make them resent him in the first place. Especially when he clearly wants to be there. To me, that seems like he's trying to be there for his kids. And then these two women are making it very, very hard for him to do so.
I had a woman out there in North Carolina, huh?
You know Earl? You know Earl?
I'm just.
I won't even answer that.
I bet you won't.
I won't even answer that.
I bet you won't.
And you had another girl while you were dating my daughter.
I wish I did. I wouldn't have married her.
You see how I'm talking? You see what I'm talking about? How they just keep this stuff going. Like, I mean, this whole situation started with a haircut, and then it went from the mother talking about, be a man for once, and you abandon us, and then the grandmother is talking about you're a coward. You need to grow up, and you're childish, and I'm gonna knock you upside your head, and you need to get a life. I've got a life. You need to get a life. And now she's saying that this man had another woman while he was dating her daughter. Like, come on. Like, how much longer are you going to drag this out? And again, the kids are hearing all of this. One of those kids is in her arms as she is saying this. So do you really think that is okay for a child to have to hear that and to see that? Do you really think that's okay?
I wish I did. I would have married her.
Well, let me see my husband pull you up.
And tell me what?
See,
And tell me what?
See, this is the way you act. Go.
Come on.
I mean, I'm actually glad I let it play on this long. I started to stop it earlier. I'm glad I let it play on this long, and I'm actually going to end it here. Because there's not much else you see. That's pretty much the end of the video. But the echoes, and you can clearly hear how upset the kid, or at least one of the kids, were when all of this was going on. And from what I saw, the man, the father, the dad, was the only one that was actually trying to be civilized. And like, this whole situation should have never even happened in the first place. And yet, the mother and the grandmother made this situation, and then they escalated the situation. They made something out of nothing, and then escalated it into something bigger, into a bigger problem that resulted in them going into a police department. You can hear from the echoes how it affected the kids. And the only person, as I stated earlier, the only person that pointed that out was the dad. The two moms, the mother and the grandmother, did not point that out and seemed to not even care that it was affecting the kids. So, Like, I mean, do y'all really believe in the maternal instincts that everybody likes to portray? That, oh, she's the mother, she carried him, she knows what's best for him, and she's going to do what's best for him. Does it really look like these women are doing what is in the best interest of the kids? Because you tell me, at what point bashing a dad in front of the kids is good for the kids? How is that good for them? So everybody, as always, if you made it this far into the video, I really do greatly appreciate the support. I hope you stay tuned. I've got more to come. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Y'all have a good one.